For simple riffs, it's fine for me to just show you where the notes are, but a much easier way to learn songs once they get more complex is through written music notation. If you've ever seen standard music notation, we're not going to be using that here. Guitar has its own special type of notation, only used for guitar, that's much easier to read than standard music. This notation is called a guitar tab. Here's the tab for the next riff we're learning. There are 6 lines, each representing a string. The bottom line is the 6th string, and the top line is the 1st string. The numbers represent which fret to press down. Multiple numbers on top of each other means multiple strings are played, which means a chord. We read left to right the same as reading words. Timing and which finger to use aren't included in tabs. To figure out the timing, you just have to listen to the song, and to figure out which fingers to use, you'll just have to know proper finger placement. I'll still walk you through it for now, though. If you can understand how this works, you can figure out most tabs. The best thing to do when looking at a new song is to try and figure out if anything repeats, which makes it much easier to sort out. If we look at this tab, there are basically 4 sections that are very similar. You start with a low note, then move to the 2nd string for a few notes. We'll break it down and start with the 1st section. Start with the 3rd fret all the way up on the 6th string. This one might be a bit of a stretch. You're playing the 3rd fret, so usually you'd use your 3rd finger, but this time we're going to use our 2nd finger actually. Sometimes it's actually easier to use a different finger. So after that, place your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. See how that's easier than if we use the 3rd finger for both the 2nd string and the 6th string? Lastly, play the open 2nd string.
1, 2, 3.
Now try the same thing, but this whole time hold the last note for 2 taps of your foot. This is also known as 2 beats. So hold the first 2 notes for 1 beat each, and the last for 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Great work! As usual, practice this one until you can play it smoothly with me, and then move on. Now we'll move into the 2nd section. This one's very similar, but even easier. Start with the open 4th string, then go back to the same ending as the last lesson. The timing is the same as well. Hold the first 2 notes for 1 beat, and the last note for 2 beats.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Awesome. If you got that, move on to the next section. Again, this one's incredibly similar. Play the open 6th string, then back to our 2nd string notes. The timing is identical to the last 2 sections.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And finally, let's go through the last section. This one's a little different. We'll play each note for 1 beat and follow along with the tab to figure it out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, now that we've got all the section ready, all that's left to do is put them together. Listen to me while following along with the tab, then pause the video and try it out. Once you can play it on your own, play along with me. And that's how to play Say You Won't Let Go by James Arthur. You might have noticed it sounds a little off. I modified the timing and notes a bit in the last exercise to make it simpler. If you want, you can try to play along with me now, and I'll use the timing more like the actual song. It's a little tricky though, so I won't go into detail on how to count it yet, but just figure it out by listening to me. It's often easier just to listen to a song rather than to try and count it out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Awesome, great work so far. You've learned a ton about the fundamentals of guitar, and you can play 3 riffs from real songs already.